Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Folk, and welcome back to another episode of the Channel 256 News brought to you by Bitcoin Mining World. Today is August 29th on a Friday. Bitcoin is currently down to $108,232. Pretty big dip today. There wasn't any big news that came out to cause it necessarily. We had inflation data come in, and we meet expectations above and beyond. We still saw some crazy moves in the markets today, not only just in Bitcoin, but in traditional finance as well. Over here, the NASDAQ down 249 points, or 1.15%. The Dow down 92 points. S&P down 41 points. And then even the Russell getting down about 0.5% or 11 points. Pretty crazy day. Luckily, Bitcoin did find a little bit of support at its previous around its previous all-time high from a few months ago. We're getting back into this level in the low 108s. Today, we did dip below that into the 107s for about an hour. So I don't know if you guys had your eyes peeled on the charts like I did, but I was definitely sweating there for a minute. I've been seeing online that there should be a lot of support around 105,000. There's quite a few buy and long orders down there. So hopefully, if we do get that low, we would see a pump up from there. But the further we go, the more it solidifies the point where we could have already reached our all-time high just a month ago, or within this past month, of $123,000. I know everybody would be very upset to hear that. That would be the weakest pump that we've had in forever. But if you want to get technical, you can count out your 5-wave parabola in here, which is what historically you will see towards a Bitcoin top. If it is the top, that would just be the weakest parabola that we've ever formed in the Bitcoin market. And with the Dow Jones still breaking out, the S&P 500 closing at a new all-time high yesterday, and the Russell closing above its 786 Fibonacci level, we really don't have much to worry about. It looks like we're just waiting for some sort of news to get us past that point. You can even see it down here in the altcoins. We'll get back up there real quick. With the altcoins, you're seeing Ethereum get close back up to that $5,000 mark last week. That's its previous 2021 all-time high. As soon as we can break through this, we should see the whole market come up. We've got BNB reaching new all-time highs within the past month. We've got a new all-time high set here on August 22nd, just this past week. And then on top of that, you've also got where else where are we at? You also have Solana breaking above $200 again. The entire market's looking primed and ready, that we're just waiting for some sort of news to finally help work our way out of here. Over here, we've got the Bitcoin net hash rate over a zettahash, surprisingly, even though we're down about 5% on the day for Bitcoin. Still, a whole bunch of people plugging in, turning on, or stopping their curtailment. I know down here in the South, it's getting a little cooler, so I'm sure that helps. Less curtailment calls, more people turning back on. Yeah, all things considered, hash rate's looking good. Difficulty, we may actually see an increase in difficulty over the next week. I know yesterday it was looking like we could be a little bit closer to a decrease down to 932 exahash. But with how the markets are, with how volatile the hash rate is, people are plugging in, unplugging constantly. We'll see what happens. Over here, we've got some pretty cool news. TeraWulf's multi-billion-dollar HPC deal, or high-powered computing deal, backstopped by Google, a blueprint for the future hyperscaler deals. Google is backing $3.2 billion for TeraWulf's HPC hosting deal with FluidStack, and could end up owning 14% of the company. The question is, will more hyperscalers turn to Bitcoin miners for their energy and infrastructure needs? Talking to other people in the community, more and more Bitcoin miners are freeing up their hosted space for HPC computing. That's what people are building these AI models on. You're looking at like a $250,000 rig that's the size of an F-150 motor. It's ridiculous how much money goes into such a small footprint on these deals. But for with a Bitcoin miner, where the max that you'll be able to charge a hosted client is 7 to 8 cents per kilowatt hour. When you're hosting HPC servers, you can charge up to 25, 35 cents per kilowatt hour. And these things are still pulling a crazy amount of power. Now, the price to get into them is significantly higher as well, with $250,000 for one server of 8 H200s. Just to pull 60 to 120 kilowatts, opposed to plugging in 10 S21s for 20 grand. I mean, you're talking crazy numbers. So it's cool to see more Bitcoiners diversifying a little bit out. I know that's good for all the Bitcoin miner technicians and their jobs in the field. So anything that can help solidify the position and allow the big players to continue mining Bitcoin ultimately is a good thing. I don't think any of us can argue with that. Over here at Cointelegraph, just revisiting Bitcoin's price drop as liquidations pass $530 million. Excuse me, that is an insane number. Too many people are playing around with leverage. If you're playing with leverage, what are you doing? What are you doing? We're in Bitcoin for a reason. All right, if the hundreds of percentage gains that you're getting from the Bitcoin and crypto asset class are not enough, and you have to multiply that even more with leverage, I can't say that I understand how your brain works. But to each their own. Play with fire, get burnt. It looks like. Once again, just the best strategy I think overall is just the long-term hodl. Keep buy and do nothing, mine and do nothing. Historically, you win 98% of the time, with 98% of traders losing money, and even that 2%, most of the time you're going to be outperforming them by just doing nothing. Just another reason just to hold your coins. Over here on the Bitcoin magazine, historic first U.S. government posts GDP data on the Bitcoin blockchain. The U.S. Commerce Department has begun publishing GDP data on public blockchains, including Bitcoin, marking yet another strong endorsement from BTC of the Trump administration. Yeah, if you haven't seen what Trump's been doing with the whole Trump family when it comes to Bitcoin, you're probably living under a rock at this point. This next article from CoinDesk kind of goes into more of that, with Eric Trump praising China's role in Bitcoin, says the U.S. and Beijing are leading the way. Maybe if Eric Trump could help out and get a tariff deal passed between China and the U.S., that's what we really need to send us off. We'll see what happens next week, or not next week, but next month on I believe the 26th with the Fed meeting. It does look like they're going to be cutting rates still. With that rate cut, I don't know if that'll be enough, if that's already priced into the markets, but what the markets are really waiting on is for this China-U.S. tariff deal to be solidified and put into place finally. Right now, China's standing strong with some of the other countries that are holding back, like India and Brazil. So we'll see what ends up happening. But if we could get some good info dropping from that next week, that would be awesome. Even with all this information, like we're only down 250 points on the NASDAQ, 90 on the Dow, and that was the monthly close, guys. So that August closed in the green for every single major index, which is exactly what we want to see. It solidifies that we are still in a bull market and the bear market is not here yet. Do think the higher we go, the closer we're getting to it. So take that with a grain of salt, of course, not financial advice. Never buy or sell anything based on anything I say or write. That's a bad idea. However, these are historically the signs that you want to see if history is going to be rhyming with itself as it has the past few market cycles. Overall, good news all around. Over here on the block, strategy investors drop class action, alleging Bitcoin treasury company misled them. I wasn't actually aware that the holders of strategy were. I stick to straight Bitcoin. I don't need to invest in a company that is buying Bitcoin when I can just buy Bitcoin myself. I know that there's a lot of other people that like to diversify. It allows people to have some Bitcoin exposure on their 401ks and Roths, which is really cool. However, I'm going to stick to my just hard money, my Bitcoin in the cold wallet overall for my personal strategy. Overall, a pretty tame Friday. It's something that we haven't seen in a while, with numbers like this dropping down 3.5% on the hour still, or on the day still. Just a sea of red through the whole market. You can see, I mean, Bitcoin sneezes and the rest of the market shits itself. So overall, a great way to end the month. I will not be posting this weekend. This is going to be a Monday through Friday. I will be on for Labor Day. However, I hope you guys enjoy your long weekend. For those who get it, take it easy, rest up a little bit, and we'll spend some time with family, and we'll get back into some more market updates on Monday, September 1st. As always, guys, if you did like the video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe so you can be notified when we're posting new content and when we're going live. Hopefully next week we'll try and work in a couple live streams so that we can interact with you guys. If you guys have any information or news stories that you want highlighted, can go through the chat and we can go over those together and get some input from everybody and see what the market sentiment is at the time. Either way, this has been really fun. I appreciate all the support in the last few videos, and I'll see you next time. Peace, guys.